Keylan Rutledge, great to see you, my man. It was a joy to watch you at Georgia Tech. I mean, you're just a freaking bulldozer. You're a bully. I think you kind of like to hurt people within the game of football, and I appreciate that. But it was really cool to see your transition as a leader. Like I think you came in, kind of, with that mindset, but by the time you left, there was no question, who was one of the most prominent, vocal and by example leaders that you were while you were there. Just tell us a little bit about that experience, why you chose Georgia Tech and the couple of years that you had there, how that was for you.
Yeah, I mean, great decision. I mean, I go 2 years at Middle Tennessee. Kind of my best opportunity to go play college football out of high school. Didn't really get recruited heavy. Played there 2 years, loved every bit of it. Coach got fired, so I decided to transfer. Was going to visit other schools. Crazy stuff happened. Decided to go to Georgia Tech. Loved Coach Key. Loved the kind of, mentality instilled. I mean, he's an O-line guy through and through. So I knew I wanted to play for that. Knew I would get developed. Everything he stood for, I stood for. Just the physicality, how it's built through the trenches. So great decision there. Loved every part of it. Played some, had some good years. Wish we could have finished stronger, but I mean, I loved every part of it.
Yeah, you're one of those transfer portal success stories in a lot of ways, Keelan, and you used it to me, in my opinion, in the right way, right? You had Middle Tennessee was kind of your best offer, then you made the most of your opportunity, you go to Georgia Tech. You mentioned some crazy stuff happened, and you won the ACC Piccolo Award for the most courageous player because of the car accident that happened after you were, I believe, leaving your Georgia Tech recruiting trip. Is that right? So I mean, you don't have to take us through that because we've seen it reported and I saw a picture of the car that looked absolutely insane. I'm sorry you had to go through that, but you went through so much with the toe and all of this. How has that made you stronger to where you are now?
Yeah, I mean, it's done just that. Obviously, been through a lot in my life and like in general, but I think that was like a moment that really lets you know who you are. Because when they tell you like, "Hey, forget football, you might not have your foot," you're like, "Oh, you're thinking about everything, right?" So, I mean, just the opportunity to go back out there and get on the grass, just strap it up. Like, you don't take that for granted no more. Not that I did, because I know how I was wired. But you just now get to play football, man. Like, I was telling the whole time, like, you cut it off, I'm gonna play. And just the opportunity, like, hey, we get to actually do it now. We get to go out there. I mean, it's just showed me so much about myself. And to be resilient and all that stuff. But just to be out there, get out there to grass with the guys, and it was great.
Yeah, I think it is something where, obviously you always respect the game, you love the game, but until it potentially is taken away from you, like you just have another level of appreciation and to truly know how finite this time and this window is that we get to do this and do this thing that we love. And so anytime that that's put in jeopardy, I know that it only increases the value that you really have there. Let's talk about the next steps, man. Post Georgia Tech, you go and train and, obviously kill the combine. So where did you train? How did you kind of land on that? And, obviously it worked out because you killed it at the combine.
Yeah. I mean, went down to Texas, Duke Manyweather, kind of O-line guy.
Great choice.
Does a lot. I wanted to be, like, at the end of the day, it's great to run a good 40, do all that, and go test good. But at the end of the day, you want to have something through that process that you can take for your, NFL career. And I think he was so detailed, so technical, and a lot of things that he could help me work on my game. So I decided to go down there. Spent 2 months down there. It was great, man, preparing me for the Senior Bowl, combine, and obviously did all that. And now we're here, so ready to hear the name called, and get to the next step.
Did you know that Ingles sells more organics than any other store? Or that they run their own dairy? Or that they only serve USDA choice and prime meat? Did you know that they have more local craft beer than any place else? Or that they have Energy Smart stores? Or that they professionally slice and package imported cheese from Europe? Did you know about their giant international aisle, local farm partnerships, curbside pickup, wine department? Or that they donate 3,956 meals a day to local food banks? Well, now you do. It's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
How weird is it as an offensive lineman where the 40 is not like, you don't do that ever. I mean, maybe you're going to run 40 yards on like some crazy play, right? But to have to train for that and then really hone in on something like that, how weird was that for you? Because you did kill it to max point.
Yeah. I mean, you're right. Like that's kind of the nerve-wracking part. Honestly, like, you're not really worried about, like, oh, my set being clean. Obviously, you're going to work on that, right? For me, like, being able to play center, all that stuff. But just so much put into 5 seconds of your life, right? And obviously, I wanted to get that 4. Didn't end up getting it. Got a 5.05. but like it's just so detailed and so structured. Like we got to run this 40, but like in reality, the 5-10-5 is way more important for our position, like being able to change directions. But yeah, I mean, it was fun. You get to become a little sprinter, Yeah, every day running your little tail off. So I enjoyed it.
That's a ton of fun. Tell me about the camaraderie though, man, when you were training, because it's so different, right? Like I'm sure you're a big team guy and you have every position group and you're doing that, while you're at Georgia Tech, but then you're kind of on your own. But the thing with offensive linemen, we're always going to find brothers and we always kind of find that group. So what was that like, and what were the guys like that you were training with as you all were kind of going through this together to be the best version of yourselves?
Yeah, I mean, just like you said, we found our clique. We called it the snaps. They would split it up in the interior and tackles. And a lot of the guys, we only had one true center, so a lot of us guards, we had how the NFL is. Like, man, you're going to have to be asked to do a lot of stuff. So we had some really good players. A lot of Vega, Manuel Progono, a lot of guys, Carmona, Sam Heck, a lot of guys in that interior class are going to be drafted really high. So we all meshed together, got a group chat, always talking, always hanging, always finding something to eat. You know how we are.
Of course.
So, obviously us built a relationship, some brothers for life, and it was great, man.
O linemen are always the same. I don't care about the generation. I don't care about what position you play. It's really funny to see that, as I know Eric McLean very well. Keylan, you mentioned that you've been doing some interviews with different teams, had a couple today. And how have these interviews gone? But also I want to ask, because you're already married, has that come up? Like this idea that you're such a mature guy and you've already kind of been settled in that way?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's something they always, because obviously the first kind of thing, more so now it's more ball talks. But at first, you go to the Senior Bowl, it's all just, I want to know your background. And I think that's something that, speaks to, when you're married, you're mature, you're a lot ahead. They don't got to worry about the off-field stuff with you. A lot of times you get a lot of money given to guys and they don't know how to react when it comes, right? They don't really have that question for me. But it's been great. I mean, just talking ball. I love talking ball. I'm a ball guy, get up with it all the time. So just being able to talk to these O-line coaches, more so O-line coaches now, maybe some GMs sprinkled in, stuff like that. You get to just talk ball and let them know, like, hey, I'm physical. I'm a mauler. I've got this kind of mentality, but I'm not just a meathead. Like I know football. I know where I'm supposed to be. And I know that kind of excels through this process and helping me, climb up.
And they know your wife's going to keep you in line, right?
That's right.
100%. Always.
Right. And I think it's been on full display, right? Like your athletic ability. You were ranked the #1 guard athletic score at the combine, but also like your brute force and your mentality in run blocking and just ultimately playing this game. Throughout this process, as you just mentioned, and the fact that you love it so much, being on the boards and talking tape and scheme and things of that nature, just maybe go into a little bit more detail. You don't have to tell us the team, but just kind of things that they are asking you or walking through that you're showing your knowledge, not playing the game right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think you got 30 visits, and those are more where they can really dive deep because they've got you for a day or two. And it'll be like, man, they're going to install kind of all you're going to get at rookie minicamp. They're going to install a 6-man pro, a 5-man pro, a 7-man pro. They're going to install a outside zone or a gap scheme, whatever they want to install, and then they'll have some checks, some cans put into it, and wanting to see like, hey, if you've got to play center or if you played a lot of right guard, well, if you got to play left, how does this seeing that you can play all three and you understand the game, and hey, if the safety's down, we're going to can this and go the other way, or if there's 4 to the back, we want to flip this protection. You've got to be able to see that. And even though you might not play center in the NFL, you've got to be able to understand and everybody be on the same page. So that's really what them things are, is they want to be able to give you a lot in 20, 30 minutes, maybe watch some of your tape for 20 minutes, and then ask you to recall all of it. So just seeing, hey, can this guy talk ball? Does he really understand it, or is he just a my job guy? If you understand the whole thing for the offensive line as an offensive lineman, it's going to be a lot easier instead of just, hey, I got to block this 3-tech. Well, if this 3-tech goes somewhere else. So I think they just want to understand all that and understand that, hey, when you get in the building, if you're asked to play early, you're able to go, and there's not going to be a big transition.
Yeah, it's such a test. It's such a put you on the spot type of test mentally. And it sounds like you've got that handled. And you mentioned Coach Key earlier. He called you the toughest player he's coached at the right guard position, which has to feel pretty good coming from a guy who's known for his toughness. And you mentioned kind of your knowledge and that mental side. How has Coach Key helped you really embrace your offensive line role, if you will, but also kind of that knowledge and mental side, get ready for the NFL?
Yeah. I mean, he's the same way. He's all about toughness. He's all about wanting to finish blocks, be the most physical team, all that. but like, he says it all the time. Like if you go to Georgia Tech, you should be able to handle and be able to bring in more to your brain than other places. So he's always like, man, there's so many times he's telling me like, hey, look at this guy's feet, this 3-tech spiking in, or hey, do this with your hands, yada yada. Understanding the whole totality of the defense. Like we'd be in camp and it'd be practice 9, and he's like, Red, come over here, and we're just talking about, hey, you see this, yada yada. So he's always doing that. You go up to his office, and you're obviously talking a lot about life because he's that kind of coach. But there's always ball talks and upper level talks, and he's like that, man. He's one of them. He's a ball junkie, so he loves it.
How is that for you? Like, how best do you learn, man? Because you talk about, not just knowing your job, but knowing everybody's job. When did you, I guess, have that ability? Have you always had it? And just like when you're studying and processing, are you, I have to do this a couple of times, or are you write it down, see it on tape? How do you process and gather information?
I'm kind of all of the above, honestly. Like I love walkthroughs because at the same time, like, you got to go mess it up to get it right.
Yeah.
And I think that's you can, like, I didn't play offensive line until college, so my coach is telling me to how to kick slide, and it's like you can show me a video all day.
Never done it before.
Yeah, I got to go do it, right? So I think that's the most important thing, just doing it. But as you get all them reps, man, like I'm a ball guy, so I love watching tape and understanding like, okay, what is this guy telling me up front? Like, hey, is this guy's feet like this? Or if they want to do an interior game, what is this guy telling me? Is that hand a little tilted? Whatever the case may be. So I'm always watching ball. And then obviously I'm a big notes guy. I'm always writing notes. For watching film, I'm always self-correcting. Hey, get your second step down, whatever the case may be. But I think most importantly is you got to get the reps, because if you don't got the reps, it ain't gonna work.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. A football scholar, Keylan, that's what I'm gathering from this. And we talked about toughness. I want to ask you about your quarterback, because we just had ESPN NFL analyst Jordan Reed on, and he talked about Haynes King at the next level, maybe taking a Taysom Hill approach and his versatility and being able to be an athlete. He mentioned getting Haynes King out there on kick return and on kick coverage. I was like, oh man, this sounds amazing. What do you see as Haynes King's future and kind of the role he can play in the NFL?
I mean, first and foremost, I'm gonna always say he's a quarterback. I mean,
Yeah,
he was my
sure.
quarterback for 2 years, and he's great at that, man. He's a leader. He's gonna talk and speak, but you just when your quarterback is 215, whatever he weighs, and he's running through linebackers, like, you ain't got to say too much, right?
Yeah.
And when the guy's running gassers in the summer, and he's running faster than our fastest guy just because he wants it, and that 20 rep is going to be just like that first rep. Like, he's an alpha. He's about that. So, I mean, at the end of the day, in that mentality, he can do anything. Like, I truly believe that. Like, if you tell him to do something, he's going to go out there and he's going to do it. I mean, you could put him at box linebacker. He'll find a way. But, I mean, obviously, like I said, man, I think he's a quarterback. He's wired that way. He commands the huddle and do all that. But, hey, that white boy can run, so you can put him anywhere.
He can run, and he put that on full display every time he got the opportunity. Keylan, just to reflect back, and then this will be the last one for me, about your playing career. You obviously have played some great teams in your 2 years at Georgia Tech. From a competition standpoint, who was somebody that you were like, man, that was a battle, that was a fun game, and you really had to give your all?
Played Riley Mills from Notre Dame last year, and that was a really good one.
It's a big boy.
Yeah, ended up kind of tearing his ACL, getting drafted a little later than he probably could have been. He was a really good one, man. Just so, like, to be so big, man. He had a lot of power, obviously, but he could wiggle a little bit and dance a little bit. Cape Hart from Clemson, real strong guy. Woods, kind of a finesse guy. He was good. Miller from Georgia, very strong, very stout. So played some good ones.
Yeah, you did. Got you prepared. Okay. Max said that was his last one. I, of course, have to ask something a little different because I was a basketball player in college. And so I see your numbers here that in high school, you had 1,000 points and 1,000 rebounds.
Let's
in high
go.
school. I need to know the type of hooper you were, Keylan. I saw a picture or two. Like, give me kind of the scouting report on you as a hooper.
I could put, to be so big and wide, I could obviously bang in the post, right? Back to basket, but I could face it up too. I could put it on the ground a little bit. And obviously always bullying some guys in the post, right? I'm clean up, I'm boxing out, offensive boards, I'm getting them. But I can face it up a little bit, put it on the ground. I'm like a 4-man.
Okay.
Okay.
4-man.
Stretch 4, a little stretch 4 or power 4?
I can shoot it a little bit, more of a
Okay.
catch it on the perimeter and drive. That was my game.
See,
Get
that
that hill.
sounds smarter because Eric McLean, when he and I used to go hoop at the rec center at Clemson, Mac would be out here taking threes. And I'd look at him,
Yeah.
I'd say, get in the paint.
Yeah.
Get in there.
No,
Just use my skills, just use what I got.
I know what you mean, bro. I'd shoot a little midi every now and then. Threes.
Okay.
There you go.
Might hit one every now and then, but
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
keep
getting to
them
the
honest.
paint.
You're doing
I'm
what
getting
you're
to the
good
paint.
at.
I'm getting to the
Doing
free
what
throw
you're good
line.
at.
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah. I understand. Were
I
you
love
on the
that.
AAU circuit or just with high school?
Yeah, I was on the AAU circuit through like middle school, early
Okay.
high school, and then about 11th grade, I was like, all right, I'm gonna be a college football player. So
Yeah.
Come on.
Smart.
It worked out. It worked
Yeah.
out. Well, Keylan, man, we're super excited for your future and whatever franchise takes you, man, they're getting a dog and I can't wait to see it. So just tons of blessings your way and we're excited to see where you end up, brother.
yes, sir. I appreciate y'all.
Rollback just dropped their licensed game day collection. Polos, hoodies, Q-zips, custom designed for your school. On game days, we wear Rollback, period.